dropping. Feel the hum in your hands. This is 4D. Heat on my palms, grip locked, heart racing. Shoes hit the pedal, whole room shaking. Jersey on my back, hat pulled low and blazing. Every turn I take, got the ghosts I'm chasing. 4D in my veins, feel that fire when I play, when I move, when I break, when I bang through the lane. 4D on my skin, when I lose, when I win, I'm alive in the light of the game I'm in. 4D, 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 it's different.
It's NTT IndyCar Race Weekend. Yes, it is. I know last weekend was the Indy 500, but we're back at it here in the IIS, and you know what that means. If it's NTT IndyCar Race Weekend, when they race, we race here first. And now it's time for some top split action in the 2026 IndyCar iRacing Series season. Hello again, everyone. Are we all recovered from Indianapolis yet? I know I am, but I am suffering severe Indy fatigue. It's good to see these cars back on another circuit, but we'll be all raring to go to see the Brickyard once again in about a year from now, and any leagues that are scheduling their races months from now. But it's good to be continuing the season as we now are in the post-Indy portion of the IIS season, as we are at Detroit. But unlike the stars and cars of the real NTT IndyCar Series, where they're on that awful street course that runs in front of the headquarters of Chevy, we are on what has become a classic now road course on iRacing, and has grown such a following of drivers, because much like the song says, you don't know what you missed until it's gone. And that is Belle Isle in the middle of the river here, just outside of Detroit, as we are here for the Detroit Grand Prix. This is round 8 of the 2026 season of the IndyCar iRacing Series for the Saturday Top Split presented by 4D Racewear. As we are now getting ready. Actually, we're not completed the month of May yet, fellas. We're still in the month of May. So we got one more race to do here in the month of May, and then we're finally out of the month of May. It seems like the month of May has been last 2 months long or something like that. That's what it feels like. But joining me as always is Antonio El Patron, Antonio Estrada, and back from missing Indianapolis, but we got him back here for much of the rest of the season. Here is Ryan Skywalker. Antonio, welcome back. Ryan, good to have you back. Gentlemen, starting with you, Antonio, we have ourselves quite a battle going on points-wise, but we got some big hitters that have shown up today for this race.
Yeah, for sure. Gary, Ryan, good to see you guys. It's good to be back in a twisty circuit, and something a little different from Indianapolis for a change. Yeah, that battle, and we have pretty much all of those participants in today's field. We have Kevin Burrell leading right now the points, and then we have Christian Hilger, who is running second, 173 points back. Realistically, it's between those two for the championship so far. We have Alain Berteau in third. Ty Quila is fourth. Ty is here in the lineup today. We have Logan Edwards. We have Esteban Rodriguez also. A lot of heavy hitters today. But yeah, looking forward to this. It should be a pretty straightforward race, I think. We're going to have 2 pit stops. You need to save fuel, get to lap 24, 25, and then do it again on lap 48 or so, and then you're good to go. Ryan, what do you got?
Yeah, it's good to be back after missing the previous race. So yeah, also kind of gutted that we're past the Indy 500, but it's good to be to be at one of my favourite tracks, which is Belle Isle. This version of Belle Isle is much better than the one that they're at in real life now, which I think is a bit meh. But anyway, it should be a good race today, and I think passing opportunities around here might be limited because it's in some parts of the track it's tight. But I think it's going to be a case of just maybe not being patient, but just waiting for drivers in front of you to make a mistake. But looking forward to this race overall.
And it's a huge field. And on that note, let's introduce today's starting lineup, shall we?
We shall. And on pole, no surprise really, that's Peter Berryman with a blistering fast lap time. Did a 1:12.36. And joining him on the front row is Esteban Rodriguez with a 1:12.4, so very, very close. Berryman won the earlier race today, and or the Friday race, sorry, and Esteban won the one on Wednesday. So both of these guys know exactly what it is needed to take a win here. Then in row 2, we have Daniel Falkingham who did a 1:12.5, joined by Christian Hilbert, one of our championship contenders, with a 1:12.7. He's now on the next team. There were some changes over there. Row 3, we have Kevin Burrell joining us from Japan, and joining him in starting P6, that's Adam Williams. Very nice time for him. Alain Berteau in the lineup today as well, 1:13.1. He's on our top 5 right now on the championship standings. He's joined by Mitchell Welker, who's going to be starting 8th. In row 5, we have Rashad Craig from IAR, from the Alliance team, and he is joined by Hunter Engrave from Rogue Racing, and also the Alliance. He's going to be starting P10. Jared Curry, another Alliance member, is going to be starting 11th. Joining him in row 6 is Alexander Chinov, who's going to be starting 12th. Then we have Logan Edwards from I5G, joined by Indy Kirkenbauer, the prodigy. He's going to be starting 14th. Very nice qualifying for him. We have Lucas Hand, who was Mr. Excitement on the Barber race a couple races ago. He's going to be starting P15. And joining him is Chase Brown. I don't think we have seen him, so welcome to the top split. We have Thomas Wright starting 17th, joined by Nigel Honegger. He's going to be starting 18th. Thomas Bankirk, he's going to be starting 19th, joined by Benjamin Eck. He's going to be starting 20th. He's from Sweden, so, Rosenquist, anyone?
There you go.
the Swedes have been on fire lately. Ty Quila, also from the IAR, the Alliance team, Rogue Racing. He's going to be starting 21st, joined by Tyler Russell, 22nd. We have Pavel Beer starting 23rd, joined by Mitchell Bott, who's going to be starting 24th. Sibu Lassak is going to be starting 25th, joined by Enrique Paz, starting 26th. And shotgun field, it's Dani Quaresma from Spain, and that is your 27th car field. As we're getting ready to go green. Hey, that was right on time, boys.
That is hitting the mark. Green flag out here at Belle Isle.
Ooh, a bit of 2 wide action. Almost 3 wide as Hunter Engrave is making a run there. Number 2.
Coming down to one of the few passing zones here. Everyone's cleanly through. Almost a little bit of Nexus contact action as we're coming off of that corner.
Oh, it seems like Rashad Craig is missing a back wing.
And I believe Mr. Excitement Lucas Hann is running with no wings, and he cuts across the nose of Berteau and clips off both of his, and now he's forgiven as they're continuing to run side by side down the stretch. Oh.
Yeah, it seems like Lucas Hand ran a little bit too hot on turn 3.
Oh, Thomas Wright, excuse me, he is in a tight spot.
Up front, though, that's Peter Berryman pulling a little away from Rodriguez as we see a couple of cars making their way to the pits. That's Alberto, had damage. Lucas Hand had damage. I'm sure that Rashad, Rashad is also making his way to the pits. And yeah, Thomas Wright. Thomas Wright is not pitting. A little bit of three-wide action. Chase Brown, Indy Kirkenbauer. Shinov, Edwards. Edwards is the one that actually makes it happen. Still very close together.
Top three on the alternate tire. The first on the prime tire is Hilgard in fourth spot. Then Williams, Welker back on the soft tire. Burrell back on the hard tire. Ingrave back on the hard tire. So split strategies up at the top of the field. How do you want to spread out this compound change? Remember, in real IndyCar racing, they are required to change the compound twice during the race now. That rule is not written into iRacing yet. So we only have to change the compound once. So if you start on the softs and you go to hard, then your compound change for the race is done as Peter Berryman goes to the top with a purple lap. Vice versa, if you start on the hard and go to the soft, your compound change is done. You will not require the change. But if you have any other subsequent stops, and we think there's at least a two-stopper here today, then on your final stop, you could pretty much choose whatever you want at that point.
Yeah, you're going to need to save a little bit of fuel, but honestly, that's the best strategy. Just save a tiny bit and make it two steps, because you can try and do a three-step and go full out all the time, but you're going to lose a lot of time. It's not advisable.
Right now, your top two, they seem to be running away, and they've got themselves about a 3-second gap back to the Elite Racing League's IndyCar Championship Rookie of the Year, Daniel Falkingham in third, Berryman and Rodriguez. Remember, they won the first two top split races of the weekend. Esteban won, actually, he got the Grand Slam on the Wednesday race. He dominated that race. Of course, by winning the Grand Slam, normally it's indication that you did dominate the race, but he won that race by a lap over Logan Spath, who is a very accomplished road racer, a former winner in the Elite Racing League at Long Beach. So he put a lap on the entire field there and led them all, had the fastest lap, and started from the pole. That's how you win the Grand Slam. And then on the Friday top split, which was just about roughly the same strength of field that we had today. Today is a 42.72. Friday was a 42.39. Peter Berryman won that race, but it was a considerably closer. Kevin Burrell finished second in that race, not a lap down, but only 21 seconds behind. And his teammate, Christian Hilgard, finished third, just a couple seconds behind Burrell. So considerably two different races that we've seen. The race one this weekend, only one car on the lead lap. Race two this weekend, considerably more cars on the lead lap. And but we have our largest field of the weekend so far. Only 22 started on Wednesday, 26 started on Friday. We're at 27 today. So we might see some more passing for position in the mid-pack, and also more cars go a lap down as the pace of the leaders ends up catching the back markers, which we are actually not that far away from doing here, really, for the leaders. They have about 15 seconds or so before they start reaching those back markers, and right now they might catch those guys in about 10 laps or so.
Yeah, that's it's going to be interesting to see how they navigate traffic, but they have already put, like, Berryman and Rodriguez are kind of in their own zip code. They have already put a 3-second difference to Christian Hilgard. We're only lap 5, guys. And then Hilgard, Falkingham, Williams, Welker, and Burrell, they're all very close together. And there's a little bit of a gap to Jared Curry and Hunter Engrave. And then Logan Edwards kind of on his own. And then there's another big group with Brown, Honegger, Kirkenbauer, Ty Quila, all those guys. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this develops.
Your biggest mover
so far.
of the race right now, is Mitchell Bott. He's up 8. Pavel Beer up 6. Your teammate, Ty Quila, he's up 6, so he's got to move on pretty early here.
Yeah.
Kirkenbauer into the wall, and we caught 2 cars where the track is now blocked. Oh, another car into the. Oh my God! Everyone's just going right into the zone.
What a mess.
Yeah, and that's the problem around this track as well. If someone has an issue in front of you, especially with some parts of the track being tight, unfortunately you don't have anywhere to go or not enough time to react.
Yeah, Kirchenbauer hits the, and there's no place to go. And actually, I don't have a good camera angle of this, so maybe we'll get to the blimp here, and I can't even get a good blimp angle. So we'll go back in time here and watch this again form.
Yeah, Ty Wheeler does a great job of missing that.
And there's still not a good angle there. Yeah, this is just a place in the racetrack where there is no good camera angle. And the whole track is blocked.
Probably the in-car from Ty.
There we go. Ty just slips through. There's another car on the high side going on the high side. The looks like a Rossi livery kind of came into the zone hot and got collected. So we're still green. That could have been easily a caution, an iRacing throw caution for a blocked track, but we're still going. But unfortunately, Tyler Russell, Indy Kirchenbauer, Nigel Honecker, and Mitchell Bott, all with meatball flags, and all are on pit road getting extended repairs.
Yeah, that's probably race done for Honecker, for Kirchenbauer. I think Tyler Russell might be able to change, but he might have some suspension damage. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. And like Ryan was saying, the track gets blocked very easily here, and many of these corners are blind, as you saw also by not being able to find a good camera angle. So you don't know what's happening in front of you.
Yeah, again, this is not the greatest camera pack, but there is Kirchenbauer on pit road getting repairs, Honecker getting pit repairs. Mitchell Bott's already retired. Tyler Russell there in the Ed Carpenter Racing livery. He is getting repairs as well. But back on the racetrack, Peter Berryman continues to lead over Rodriguez, and they have pulled out to a bigger gap now as Hilgard has gotten around Daniel Falkingham. We missed that pass, but Hilgard now is in third. And, for the looks of things, Tony, it might have been Falkingham was kind of holding up that next group a little bit, because as soon as Hilgard got around, he's now put a little bit of a gap on him.
Yeah, for sure. There's a little bit of a 1.5 second time difference between them right now. So, trying to make his way. And now this train is being led by Daniel Falkingham, which includes Adam Williams, Mitchell Walker, and Kevin Burrell. That's the closest, quote-unquote, battle on track. Right now, I think they're playing very nice to each other. They're working together a little bit and saving fuel. Like we said, you have to save a tiny bit just to make it to lap 24 and then be done with your first pit stop.
Watching Mitch Welker, former champion in the Formula Indy Series. You'll see that on the channel here later this year in July when they start their next season. A lot of experience in this group of drivers. Kevin Burrell, two-time defending IIS champion, looking to go 3 in a row. He currently is in 7th. Jared Curry, there's Jared just behind them. He's an Indy Next Series, a Road Series champion. And he is in 5th. Hunter Ingrave with a new livery, looking sharp for him with Rogue Racing. He's a winner in Velocity Online Racing and the Elite Racing League. So a lot of driver experience here, also in the Horizon Series as well, I believe. But a lot of driver experience. And we got Logan Edwards with Team I5G back here in 10th. So the whole top 10 right now, pretty stacked right now with a lot of driver talent in the community.
Oh, yeah. It's a stacked field. And what you were saying about Kevin Burrell being a two-time champion, well, he's looking to three-peat. He has a sizable lead, and he has been probably the most consistent of everybody. Yes, he has a bunch of podiums, I think a couple of wins as well, but he's always in the top 5, and or around that position, and that pays great points. So he's done a great job at making sure to stay out of trouble and to be up front with everybody.
Yeah, he has no Kevin Burrell in the wall off the last set of corners. At least seems to be okay.
I'm sorry for the jinx, Kevin.
He made it through Corvette corner. So now we're down the straight.
Pretty hard.
He did. He smacked it good. As right in front of him, Welker and Williams are racing. Welker trying to get around Williams.
Yeah, but it seems that he was able to get away with it. Like sometimes when you hit it like super square, like right next to the wall, you're gonna be able to get away with it. Some other times you just scrape it and you're done.
Yeah. These cars are real weird like that sometimes. Sometimes you'll pick up a bunch of damage and you'll go slower. Sometimes you'll narrow the car up and it'll go faster. That's the old Jacob Oster approach. If it's not running well, smack the wall a couple times and narrow it up.
Never seems to work for me, though.
No, it never works for me. But it would work for a power slide driver. That is for sure. Going back to Kevin Burrell, there is Kevin right there on your screen, right there in the Nexus eSports car. He is a two-time defending champion of the IAS, winner of the last 2 season championships over the last 2 years. Remember, the IAS mirrors the real-world NTT IndyCar Series championship. And so far, we had the points on the screen. He is among your points leaders. Let's bring him up real quick. He is your points leader, as a matter of fact, up by 173 points over his teammate Christian Hilgard and his teammate Alan Berteau. So right now, Nexus Esports 1, 2, 3 in the standings for the series championship. No team championship in this, only individual driver championship. But Kevin Burrell has done it, as you mentioned, based upon consistency. He has not had a top split broadcast victory yet this season. We started with Christian Hilgard winning at Sebring, Robert Molechka at Phoenix, Peter Berryman at St. Petersburg, Brandon Roseborough at that wet Barber race, Jaden Munoz at Long Beach. Christian Hilgard got the first repeat winner of the season, as he got the Indy GP win. Rashad Craig won at Indy last week. And those are your winners this season, and not a single name on that list right now, at least on a top split broadcasted race, is Kevin Burrell.
Yep. Yeah, but like we said, he's always in the top 3, top 5, top 7. And, just not now he's even faster after hitting the wall and catching Mitch Welker there for P6. So, yeah, he's very, very patient, very methodical driver that always finds his way up there at the end. And while we were talking, I just saw that Lucas Hand had another issue, missed turn 5, went straight into the tire barrier. That stayed done for him. And Mitchell Bad, who was our biggest gainer at some point during the race, he's also out of the race. Seems that he had an incident with Danny Quaresma, and now they're both out and done, which now changes our top, our biggest mover to Pavel Beer up 9 spots. And then we also have Silva Lazar also up 9 spots, and Ty Quila up 8. As Pavel actually drops down a little bit.
Our leaders are starting to catch lap traffic now. That is the 20th Thomas Van Kirk right in front of our leader, Peter Berryman. So right about when we figured they would start catching the back markers, they have and it looks like Thomas did come to pit road. He might have had some damage. He did have a 13-second stop, but he's going to be caught on the long straight there, and he just backs out of it and allows the leaders on through.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Get the track map off here real quick, and it's school time, because here are our track facts. Greg Moore holds the track record. Of course, everything on this track is now frozen in time. We no longer come back to this track anymore. So Greg Moore holds a kart track record set in 98. Takuma Sato has the IndyCar track record set in 2017. Your career wins leaders here at Detroit: Castro Neves, Scott Dixon with 3, Michael Andretti, Emerson Fittipaldi, Will Power, Sebastian Bourdais, and Graham Rahal. In fact, Graham Rahal did that all on one doubleheader weekend. He has 2 there. That's a name you don't see on the top winners list a lot on our graphics, Graham Rahal. Pardon the typo, but this is also the site of where Elio got his first IndyCar win, guys. And this is where Spider-Man was invented, right here at Detroit.
That's right.
Yep, I remember that. I remember watching that on TV.
Man, I'm old. Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah, I also remember. I also remember going back. Going back about was it 1997 where they had that. They had that. Where Greg Muir took the win on the last lap because of both Pac West cars ran out of fuel, I think.
That
Blundell
was Blundell and Gugelman, I think, wasn't it?
Gugelman. Yep.
Yep. So that's actually talking about that is making me feel old.
Welcome to the club, gentlemen. Welcome.
Oh dear.
Back up front, it is Berryman and Rodriguez. They're only separated by less than a second. But Christian Hilgard is starting to run them down a little bit. He's put even a bigger gap now on Daniel Falkingham in fourth.
Yeah, he actually, Hilgard was 4.5 seconds behind Berryman. Now it's only 3.5, so that's a sizable chunk. Last time by, 1:15.1 for Berryman, 1:14.9 for Hilgard, so a little bit faster.
Let's ride with Hilgard. Come down to turn 3, one of the few passing zones here. Not a very technical course, and I remember when this course was around on the schedule because it was also where the IndyCars really racing for real. A lot of people didn't like this place. Man, then when you look at the new course they're on, everyone's like, let's go back to Belle Isle. And so you continue to see a little bit of the murmuring in the community to return back to Belle Isle. I don't know if we ever will, but until iRacing scans the new Detroit course, we will continue to run on Belle Isle in the IIS as our substitute for the other side of the river on that street course in downtown Detroit. But this is, like I mentioned, you don't know what you missed until it's gone, and everyone now really has grown to enjoy this track.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, I don't think the new layout is horrible per se. Like, the layout is whatever. But what really irks me is that it's so narrow everywhere. So they have to be driving like very, very precise, and that doesn't give a lot of passing opportunities,
Right.
except after that long straightaway, which then becomes a little bit of a U-turn, which is weird. But I think the layout itself is not the problem. It's just the narrowness of the track.
Yeah, it looks like when they were mapping the track, as we ride looking out the back of Berryman, our leader, it's like they came across a random alleyway and says, oh, let's make the track go through here. And it just seems so narrow, and it's like it doesn't seem natural for a race course to go through there. And I'm not a fan. And I'm also not a fan of the zipper configuration that they have for pit road, where one side, the field goes to the other side, the other half of the field goes to the other side, and then when they're done, they all kind of merge there at the exit, kind of like a zipper. I'm not a big fan of that, but we see them rolling that type of pit road probably because of confined space options for a track layout. I believe they have that at Arlington, and now we have that at Detroit, so maybe that is a growing trend where we're seeing this kind of the zipper pit road type thing.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to happen more often because it takes less space, right? Like, in a way, you only need something that is a little bit wider as opposed to something that is longer. So it's probably easier to find a parking lot or some sort of structure that already exists where you can just paint over the lines and, there you go, pit lane, done. But yeah, I agree. It's a little bit weird. Hey, Hunter Engrave is catching Jared Curry. That's a teammate-on-teammate action. That's for the back half of the top 10, P8 right now. Jared Curry's using the alternate tires. Hunter is on the primary, so maybe that's the...
Curry got a little squirrely there under acceleration. I think the red tires are gone, and that's where we're seeing the crossover now. As those that decided to go with the car off. That is Kevin Burrell.
What? And Engrave is going to make his way by Jared Curry.
He makes two positions. Burrell might have a damaged left front wing plane. It might be out of joint there. we have to go back and see what happened with Burrell. Let's see if we can go back. And yeah, there he is, right at that same corner that we saw the incident with Kirchenbauer. And it's the same thing happened as he's attacking Mitchell Welker. And he just got right up there, and the back end was traveling a little bit faster than the front end, and the back end comes around. A bit of a kiss of the wall. He keeps it out for major damage. Now he's trying to rejoin with still traffic at speed. Oh, big lick of the wall for Curry. I think Curry got surprised. Curry's wing snaps back into place. So I think the wing damage I saw on Burrell's car might have been phantom. And so
no,
we
he
have,
does have it.
Okay, we do have damage on the wing there.
But he kind of got away with it. If you look at it, you're gonna see that on the left side, on the rear wing, it is a little bit bent, but it's not necessarily, something that is going to take a lot of downforce out. So he should be able to complete this stint, no problem at all. Coming to the pits, and then that's gonna take a 5-second additional, pit lane time, just to change that wing, and he's going to be right back into this.
So another bit of heartbreak for the they're new to the Nexus eSports team, Burrell and Hilgard, but remember Hilgard at St. Pete had an issue late mid race that cost him a higher finish. He ended up coming back on the podium. He had to fight hard for it. But little mistakes by these, which at the time they were fiercely forward teammates, and now they're teammates with Nexus Esports. These little mistakes mid-race can cost you, and now it just makes Kevin's job that much harder.
Yeah, for sure, because now he has to, work his way with that damaged car for at least another 4 or 5 laps. He's losing time, maybe not a ton of time, but he's quite slower than what he was, at least a second and a half slower. So yeah, an unforced error in a way, which I was about to say. I will stop talking about Burrell because I have been jinxing him the entire race, and I'm sorry, Kevin.
Ricky Paz
Ryan,
getting out of the way on the racetrack.
Ryan, what do you thought? What are your thoughts on this?
I'm not sure what to say, to be honest.
I guess just don't say Kevin Burrell's name anymore right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Hildegard is still eating in that lead. Hildegard is that's also the difference. Hildegard is on the primary tires, which now we know that they do last quite a bit longer than those alternates. Right now, he's only 2.8 seconds behind Berryman. Remember, at some point, that was a 4.5 second lead for Berryman. Although we're getting very close to that first pit stop.
Yeah, those of you want to do a 2-stop strategy, the window opens about lap 23, 24. A 3-stop strategy, that window is open now. But I don't think anyone is going to execute a 3-stop or more unless they have problems on the racetrack. So the 2-stop strategy window opens at 23, 24. I don't think anyone can get to a 1-stopper here unless we have cautions. And since this is auto stewarding by iRacing, we will not be seeing any cautions unless we have a really blocked racetrack, which is possible. But we almost saw it there in that incident featuring Kirchenbauer and those other cars. Right now we see Hilgard going around last week's winner, Rashad Craig, on the oval in Indianapolis, as he's continuing to reel in the top 2 of Berryman and Rodriguez. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on this qualification Saturday for the NTT IndyCar Series at the Detroit Grand Prix. You're joining us for IIS Racing here on the Top Split here for the Saturday Top Split broadcast here at Belle Isle. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not done so already.
Sorry, Jared Curry's trying his hardest to hold Kevin Burrell behind him. He just drove on the grass for quite a bit, almost lost it. Now they're on the backstretch of the circuit. He's going to have a good opportunity, Kevin is.
Yeah, you can just
right
see
here
on these replays He is very loose on the back end, and then we just missed the pass. We'll go back and re-watch the pass here. Down the straightaway on the button. And he's going to take a look to the inside. Under braking, and a very clean pass. In fact, Jared did a very excellent job of giving him as much room as possible to then be able to take the corner and attack right away. And he tried to get the nose back there, but not quite fast enough with those used tires right now.
Yeah, and the left front tire of Jared Curry's car, if you can look at it, it's destroyed. Like, that tire is screaming for help.
Oh, yeah, that is a not happy tire.
I'll do the graphic. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love the not happy tire.
I gotta use my John Madden, green screen here somehow. Illustrator.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it tells you. Let's take a look here. I'll bring up the weather conditions, and let's get the track map off there so it's not overlapping there. I mean, the track tip is not, well, actually the track tip is there. It's 113. We don't see that very much for road races or street races. And being that this is multi-tarmac, where we're on parts on asphalt, parts on concrete, 113 on the track temp is pretty high. In fact, it's a lot higher than I recall in the past.
Yeah, that's pretty high. That's pretty brutal. And we can see it on the tires. Most cars. I was looking at Alan Williams. He has the same exact problem.
Curry's had enough. Curry's had enough. He's gonna hit the huddle right now. Speaking of John Madden, and come to pit road and get those red tires off.
And he will need to save maybe a tiny bit more to make it work. But yeah, he was losing a lot of time there.
We're right at the window. And there he goes to the prime tires, and you see the shine return to those tires. So that just tells you how much he wore those out. And long stop, super long stop. I don't know if he had damage there that they were taking care of.
He might have had a little bit of damage.
Oh, and the leaders are in the middle of a whole beehive of lap traffic right now, and that has allowed Christian Hilgard to close the gap.
Yeah, Silvio Lazar got all kinds of wiggly right in front of Berryman. That allowed both Berryman Rodriguez and also Benjamin Eck to make their way through. Christian Hilgard now right behind him. Losing a little bit of time here.
Let's see what happened to Lazar as they go through, I guess, what we call Detroit's version of the carousel. But he's very much trying to stay on the lead lap, and he just goes deep into the braking zone, gets up into the gray, a little bit of a kiss of the wall, but right in front of the leader. Leader's just like, hold your line at this point. Lazar does the right thing and concedes the positions, but he's really in the wrong portion of the racetrack to try to find a place to get out of the way and duck and hide.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time. Nothing he can do. But luckily, they all live to tell the tale. Mitch Welker, Logan Edwards, hit in.
Logan Edwards coming out of the box. His stop is complete.
And I'm sure that Berryman is going to be pinning here this time by.
Rashad Craig with the meatball flag on pit road for an extended stop for our winner last week in Indianapolis. Remember, threw on that late pit stop and a new set of tires to run people down. He started, from 5th on the racetrack on that last stint with about 5 laps to go, and then passed everyone for the win. Coming to pit road, Peter Berryman, scheduled stop. Esteban Rodriguez, scheduled stop. And Christian Hilgard is now right there with them on this in lap. So the top 3 all on pit road.
Yeah, now Hilgard's going to have the alternate, so he's going to be faster, at least for the beginning of the stint. Williams, Engrave, Burrell also pitting in.
Hilgard stays on the was he on the red tires before? I can't recall.
No, he was in the primary.
So he's stuck with the primary, so he's gonna go with the reds for the final stint then.
That's also a good idea. He felt those were really working for him, especially at the end. And let's see, Esteban Rodriguez went for another set of alternates. Peter Berryman, he did change to the primes. Interesting how there are different strategies and setups that benefit one sort of driver over the other.
Remember, this is open setup, so each one of these drivers are massaging these setups on their car. So it's possible that they have a setup that favors one compound over the other. But Daniel Falkingham has picked up the lead just by staying out. We suspect that he will come to pit road anytime. There he is, coming to pit road right now on cue. Thank you very much, Daniel Falkingham. He has done too many races with me in the broadcast to know exactly what I need, and that's what I was looking for, was him coming to pit road. This is a NASCAR Coca-Cola driver, eSports driver, and he's now kind of stretching his legs a little bit into IndyCar. Still very much learning these cars, but he is the 6th highest rated driver on this split. And that's what we said before when we've been talking about him on the racetrack. It's very sick to know that he's this good already, and he's still learning the car. He is your Elite Racing League IndyCar Series Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. There seems to be there was an incident. Alexander Shinov and who was that? Jared Curry. Meatball flag for Alexander Shinov. Unfortunately, he was running P12 at the time.
Yeah, he needs a new front wing, and he's trying to hit his marks right now. He's now got into his stall. He will go up on the jacks, get a new set of tires. They do have unlimited tires here in the IIS, and then he will get about a 5-second, what we call kind of a penalty, but it's basically them throwing a new wing there. You see the wing form, and he'll be able to take back off here if he doesn't have other damage that needs to be addressed on that car. Peter Berryman, your leader. Esteban Rodriguez is second. Christian Hilgard is third, and now we didn't think this was going to be the case as we got through that first stint, Tony, but early in that first stint, I thought it was being a two-car battle, but once Hilgard got around fourth position and got up into third, he is slowly, actually, he's really been, over the course of the last two stint and a half, kind of the fastest car on the racetrack.
Yeah. No, he has been putting on a clinic. We didn't think about that. And, yeah, right. It has now changed into a 3-car race here, which makes it more exciting for us. You know, Hunter and Grave is also really close in that gap to Mitch Walker and Adam Williams.
Hunter finished fourth in the top split race on Friday. So he likes this racetrack.
Yeah. Oh, and I was going to say about Falkingham, if he's still learning, then, and he's running right there with the veterans of the community and, super decorated drivers, and what is going to happen in in a few months. That's great to see.
Yeah, it puts just passes Lazar on the racetrack for just track position, but he is all by himself in fourth. Just behind him is Mitch Welker leading a 3-car pack with himself, Adam Williams, and Hunter Ingrave. And I'll give props to Ingrave. He's your teammate with Rogue Racing, Antonio. I love this livery. I don't know what it is, but I love this livery that he's in. This red and white, it looks sharp.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's red and yellow, but the chrome side is on the yellow, so it looks amazing. He specifically requested that. I might have to change mine sometime.
It's been a while since you've changed yours.
Yeah, but I just love orange, so looks really.
Well, you
cool.
don't have to change it from orange. I mean, you can just new orange.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it. Hey, we have a battle for the lead here.
We're watching it right here. How about that Dixon orange? Let's get that. But here is Rodriguez, who was tracked down Berryman. And remember, Rodriguez on those red sidewalled softer tires. So in the short term, he's going to be the faster of the two cars. And he is right there on the attenuator of Berryman. we might have a shot at the lead here. That's one thing we don't see a lot here at Detroit, are a lot of passes for the lead.
Yeah, but he needs to attack right now when, there is an advantage, a clear advantage to these alternates. Because as we saw in the previous stint, they kind of fall off after maybe, 2/3 of the stint, perhaps. So, yeah, that makes it very interesting for us as well.
Last year in our
Ryan,
top
whenever you're
speed-
racing,
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering, Ryan, whenever you're racing, especially these street circuits, which one do you prefer, the odds or the primers?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think for me, excuse me, for me it comes down to not pace as such, but more, I guess, comfort. So I think if I was Christian, for example, I would rather be on the compound that he's using at the moment, just because. Again, it might not be the quickest, but if it means you're comfortable and you can do a consistent pace, I think I would rather go with the compound that Christian's running at the moment. But that's just me if I was in his position, or just racing around here in general. As the battle for the lead is starting to get a lot closer again.
On the button, down the straightaway, into the corner. And remember, they have, since we've been on the oval, we've had the hybrid that we've been able to use on the oval, but push to pass is back. We're on the road course now, so there you see the push to pass usage that these two cars have used over the course of this race. Behrman has 167 seconds left. Rodriguez 186, and he's right there. He is right there. He is all over the attenuator.
Yeah, and you can use both.
Yes.
You should be using both. Both the push to pass and the hybrid system, which is actually going to regenerate a lot just by naturally driving here, as opposed to on the ovals where we need to actively be pressing on it as Behrman goes offensive here.
Side
by side.
Oh, but he does a little bit of an undercut there on the way he does the corner. He cuts low, and he's right there. He's trying to stick the nose in there. He might take a shot down the backstretch going into the turn there. Remember, that's where we saw the earlier incident. Here's a long run. This is a long straightaway, even though it's curved. They're going to be on the button. You see Berryman highlighted green already. He's on the button. Rodriguez not on the button. And again, it's possible Rodriguez can't use the button too much because he's on a fuel number. We shall see. Both these drivers are currently 6 laps into their stint. They both came to pit road at the same time on lap 24.
I think at that point he was like, I'll just take the draft from Berryman and not waste anything, because he was not going to be able to make a move there. So smart driving. Save those precious, seconds of the push to pass, because we're not even halfway, guys.
And still about 4 laps short now, 3 laps short of the halfway point. And again, thanks for joining us. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not done so already. Today's coverage brought to you by 4D Racewear. Check out their line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com or click on the link in the stream description. This is round 8 of 17 of the IndyCar iRacing Series Saturday Top Split, presented by 4D Racewear, coming to you from Detroit, Belle Isle. We've now completed 32 of a scheduled 70 laps. Make sure to hit our GoFundMe link in the description and send us donations if you would like. We certainly would appreciate it. The next race for us, guys, we're getting into a really tight portion of the season right now, as we're going to be racing almost every weekend here from now to the end of the season for the most part. We're going to our longest, you would thought our longest race of the season was last week, but our longest race of the season for the IIS is next week when we go to Gateway.
Man, I got collected in a dumb wreck on the top on the broadcast on Tuesday, and I'm still upset about it. I like Gateway a lot, but I've had rotten luck there.
Battle on the racetrack. Williams and Ingrave, Hunter Ingrave, all over the backside of Adam Williams.
And that would be for P6. And up front, they're almost going to catch Puddle Beer. and they're going to have heavy traffic. In front of Albert is Thomas Wright, who's currently running P14. That could benefit us. Angrave is able to make the move, and Williams, they're going side by side there.
Clean pass for Hunter. Move him up 4 spots to P6. So looking at another possible top 5 finish if he can bring this car home at the conclusion of this race for a second top 5 of the weekend, if he can get inside the top 5. But right now in 6th spot.
Also, shout out to Alain Bertot. Alain Bertot has been making his way back from that lap 1 incident that he had. At some point, he dropped all the way down to 23rd. He is now back running P12, and he's in the same sequence as the leaders. So
he does, but he has a blinker in front of him, and that is going to slow him down as Chase Brown is having some lag issues. And this is very dangerous, and you could speak firsthand on being racing around people with just a bad lag, Tony. But he doesn't. He wants to race this driver, but he doesn't quite know where this driver's car is going to reform, and it could literally reform right on top of his car.
Yeah, you have to give them a wider berth, as Bertot is able to make the pass there on Brown, and it's super scary because you don't know what's going to happen with them. But yeah, you just kind of need to give them a little bit more room and be a little bit more heads up in that regard. But nobody likes a blinker in front of you.
It's like I always equate it to what would be a bad transporter accident in Star Trek if 2 people should reform on top of one another. That'd be very bad.
The only good thing about that, whenever you reform right on top of somebody else, is that iRacing kind of like takes it like, oh, okay, I messed up, and it doesn't kill anybody. The problem is if they reappear like right in front of you or right next to you, and there is enough room that you can make contact. That's when the problems really happen.
Yeah, the ghosting feature it does that kind of auto ghosts you for a second and allows things to straighten out. But if you're so close, then you got to worry about netcode taking over and making contact. Watching Burrell and Curry, one of the closest battles on the racetrack right now.
Yeah, Burrell had that extended pit stop, so he dropped behind both who was it? Logan Edwards and Jared Curry. So, but now he's back up. He has a new wing.
They go
Last
through,
time by, he was 2 cents quicker.
Go through turn 1 there. I've named that. It's hopefully it's going to stick just because. And we watch Burrell taking a shot there into turn 3. But the turn 2, I always call Corvette Corner. People might remember that's where the Chevrolet executive driving the Corvette pace car smacked the wall and destroyed the Corvette pace car. It is on YouTube. You can go find it. But poor guy will probably never, ever get a chance to live that one down. But Corvette Corner does sound really good other than turn 2 and there we see Burrell around Curry. But it does. Corvette Corner sounds a lot better than turn 2 at Belle Isle.
I like it. I will forever support it because
thank you very much. Thank you.
Moment. The leaders have caught on to traffic right now, running behind Thomas Wright, who is the last car on the lead lap, running P14. I think at this point, that advantage that we're talking about the alternate cars is gone.
It's gone, yes. Oh, Thomas Wright misses the corner, but I think he was just trying to stay high. It's an awkward place to do it. Allows the leaders on through. I think there was a moment of hesitation for Berryman as Esteban Rodriguez makes up a little bit of that gap, and he is right there as they head on to the final set of corners leading on to the front stretch here at Detroit. And there you see the top, the number 1 car in the top split here. Peter Berryman leading the number 4 car. Esteban Rodriguez right behind him in that red and black, the black car with the red trim.
Yeah, this is the thing as well with catch and lap traffic as well on a street circuit is basically you want to try and get by safe as quickly as possible, but you don't want to do anything silly. So it's you don't want to lose too much time, but on the other hand, you don't want to take any risks.
And just behind
Yes, for
them,
sure.
Christian Hilgard, who is now a new teammate of Esteban Rodriguez. So he might be asking Esteban to get up there and challenge. And that might slow those two down, allow Christian to become the third party and that two-car battle up front.
Hilgard has been consistently getting closer and closer to this group. Just 1 second right now, and a lot of it has to do with them having to punch a hole through the the lap traffic. As Berryman is now catching Ty Quilla, my teammate.
Ty is the last car in the lead lap. He's 13th
Oh.
position. Oh, just hold your line. Be predictable. And he does, but he goes right up into the gray. And right now he's just trying to hug the wall and allow the leaders on by.
Oh man, yeah, and I can also understand that you kind of get nervous that here they come. Where can I put my car so that I don't
It's like they have
get
to
in the
catch
way?
me. They have to catch me at the worst possible place.
Yeah, that always happens, but no harm, no foul.
If
Kevin
Murphy's
Burrell is
Law has a
catching.
place, it's Murphy's Law has places in racing. If it can go wrong, it will.
Oh, 100%. Yes. Hey, Kevin Burrell is catching Logan Edwards. We know he's fast.
Logan Edwards also very accomplished on the road courses. He's a winner in the Elite Racing League's IndyCar Championship inaugural race at Portland. Well, he knows these street courses and road courses very well. But right now he is getting challenged by pretty much the master of the IIS for the last 2 seasons and leading the points once again. And he gets the position into turn 3 there. That is Kevin Burrell. So move him now well within the top 10. He's now up to 8th as he's trying to recover from that spin a little bit earlier in the race and some damage that he had to pick up a little bit extended repair on pit road. His stop on pit road, by the way, was 23.5 seconds, so there was some damage being repaired on that Dallara.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, good. Yeah, good. Oh,
Oh, and we're right up to the leaders again.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get by lap traffic in the form of Chase Brown, who has been blinking on top of everything else. They get by him, but now Hilgard's there, and he is challenging Rodriguez. Now, these guys are teammates, and they can show each other a little bit of mercy, but I think you kind of lose mercy if you lose pace, because I think Rodriguez has reached that point where those red tires, those red sidewall tires, the alternate tires that he has on his car, are no longer as fast as Christian Hilgard's prime black sidewall tires.
yeah, definitely. At this point, I would imagine Hilgard will try and make a move as soon as possible because he is right there. Are they teammates?
Yes, this is Nexus eSports.
Huh. I just have an unsponsored car for Esteban Rodriguez, but that's probably me.
Who knows with trading paints anymore? I have more problems with trading paint. It could be we're watching.
corner.
It could be watching a cached livery here that just hasn't
Right.
refreshed in ages. I don't know. We'll watch the top 3 from the perspective of Christian Hilgard. 2 wins this season here in the IIS.
And he was a little bit slower than Rodriguez the last time by.
That counter steer as they go down the back straight. Just across the river from Windsor and Canada. And of course, we will be visiting Canada later this season. But our race will be in the form of Montreal, not in Markham. Now, of course, that track has not been scanned. And unfortunately, I don't think we will ever see what has been scanned possibly of Toronto.
Never say never. I still hope that we will see it at some point. Oh, Hilgard got very, very squirrely there. That's gonna take some time away from him. That's good. Berryman is now picking up the pace a tiny bit. Was 2/10 quicker last lap.
Yeah, Berryman starting to pull away, 1.1 seconds now. So I think we might see. It would be, what would you say? I mean, you race with teammates a lot, as we see Rodriguez here getting past there. That's what I was getting ready to say. How hard do you want to fight your teammate, knowing that your teammate's faster and that your tires at this point are spent? How hard do you want to penalize your teammate from? You don't want to make it easy for him to pass you, Tony, but you also don't want to kill both of your shots at a possible win by slowing him down so much that when he does pass you, then Berryman has himself like a 5-second lead.
Yeah. For the most part, you try to be, try to understand where the race is happening and what is going on. And like you said, the idea of having, or being part of a team is to work together and to make sure that, we try and get the best result possible by working together. So if that means that, I shut my tires because I was driving very hard, and now you're, right behind me, that luckily we can communicate through, Discord or whatever, and, we'll just come to an agreement and when or what we need to do to make change. So, yeah, it's more about communication and trying not to, screw them over.
Right. Someone in chat says, don't think these two were teammates. Well, the whole Fiercely Forward squad, which Hilgard and Mitch Welker, let's see, Berteau, also Kevin Burrell, they were all part. That team has since folded, and a lot of those drivers have gone to other teams. Welker has gone on the Grange Hall. He's now teammates with Jared Wakefield, I believe. And a lot of the Fiercely Forward squad went over to Nexus eSports, who kind of started as a smaller team to start this season, and now they've kind of morphed themselves into a bit of a super team, picking up. And also Nick Sudik is also on that squad now too. So Nexus eSports, who has pretty much been known as a, and we see Alan Berteau there just in front of the leaders.
Yeah, he was just passed by Berryman.
Yeah. He will definitely want to get out of the way of his teammates just behind him. He's part of the Nexus Esports squad as well. But in this world where numbers matter in IndyCar racing, adding to your roster, especially with the talent of, there goes Berteau. Berteau's finished on the podium the last 2 seasons, I believe, in the IIS. So he definitely has a lot of talent. Hilgard obviously led the points earlier this season. He has a ton of talent. And then, of course, Kevin Burrell, your 2-time defending champion. Winner, I believe he won his first championship with Satellite, won his second championship with Fiercely Forward. And now he's looking to go get his 3rd championship if he can three-peat with his 3rd different team.
Right, but I'm just not sure if Esteban is there, like in the Nexus squad.
It was they started off their operation kind of as a sports car team, and they've been dipping their toe into the IndyCar pool. And sometimes in order to become really competitive in IndyCar, you really need to go with some of these hired guns, or not necessarily the hired guns. Those are more the esports drivers, but the IndyCar drivers that have been in the community drivers that have been in the IndyCar community for a very long time. And Hilgard and Burrell and Alan Berteau have been in the community for years and years now. The best way to pick up experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Peter Berryman's pulled out to a 1.4 second lead while all the action's unfolding behind him. He's just like, okay, see you later, guys.
Yeah, but there's another battle brewing. That's Chase Brown, who was blinking, seems to be sorted out right now. Ty Quila, P12.
That's one of those when you're racing the race and you yell in your household or whatever, who's ever streaming Disney Plus, get off it.
Yeah, it happens. It happens sometimes. Yeah, but Thomas Wright was the fastest of this group last time by, and they are almost what is it? Yeah, only Ty is on the alternate tire, so he's at a disadvantage now because of the, we are wrapping up the stint. Those tires are probably gone, but he's keeping up.
Yeah, we should be looking at our next round of pit stops. Right now, actually, 46 to 48 is when the next window kind of opens up to get to the end. And we are there.
The more you can save, and the more you can extend it to 48 or 49, the better it is. Shorter fuel, and a little bit of a shorter pit stop as well. As Brown goes super wide.
Goes super wide, but holds his line. Ty Quilla on through. Thomas Wright on through.
Yeah, he was all the way in the marbles.
We started this race with 27 cars. We're down to 18 now. Top 10 on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap is Jared Curry. Oh, and Alexander Sheenov in the Hello Kitty car, I believe painted by my good pal Dakota DeMade, into the wall.
Shame.
Hello Kitty says hello to the wall, and he has a bent left front wing plane.
As we said, sometimes these cars are tanks, sometimes they are not. Jared Curry is closing in on Logan Edwards.
Curry's last car to lead lap, and it's a 17-second gap back to Berryman from here. So still a little while before Berryman catches him. At this rate, probably be another 10, 15 laps or so. And then also keep in mind, we're getting ready to just go through pit stops now. And we'll watch Berryman as he goes through the front stretch, getting ready to go through the front stretch area. And see if he makes the turn to pit road. No, he will stay out. Hilgard stays out. Rodriguez stays out. So they are starting now lap 22 of their stint. They went 24 last time, so another 2 laps, give or take.
Yeah, I think they're going to try and extend it as much as possible. Okay, I was looking at Jared Curry, and right now he's on the primary tire. Last time I remember, around this time we were looking at him, he was on the alternate tires, and that tire was very, very sad. If you look at it right now, this is around the same time where we made that remark, and those tires look great. That's the difference between the alts and the primaries. The primaries last way longer. They are much stronger, much more durable.
Happy tires for Jared Curry.
That's the best thing.
And he comes to pit road, so his scheduled stop is now.
Yeah, he was one of the early takers. He last been on lap 22, and Logan Edwards also. He been on lap 23, so maybe he burned a little bit more fuel this time by. I mean, they're going to be good to go to the end, but they will need to save.
It might be a little bit of a save. Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's going to be a little bit of save there.
The advantage.
Go ahead.
Sorry, the advantage of going longer is that then you're not going to have to worry at all about fuel. You're going to be able to go as hard as you want. You're going to be able to put less fuel in the tank, so that's a lighter car. So that you can also press on the bottom on the push to pass button without any having any worries about losing a little bit of time. Mitch Walker on the pits right now. So that's the advantage of pitting a little later and extending this one as long as possible. Adam Williams hit in.
At 48 will definitely, the closer you get to 48, makes things a little bit easier for you. And we're starting lap 48 right now as we see those in the bottom portion of the top 10 coming to pit road. Here's Berryman as he is now going through 9, 10, 11, and 12. And now he's coming up at 13. Do we see him make the dive to pit road? Does he go one more lap? Gonna go, nope, he's coming to pit road right now. Hilgard's gonna stay out, go a little bit longer. So he's gonna try to do an overcut here. Here is Esteban Rodriguez coming to pit road as well. So the Nexus eSports squad looks like maybe splitting strategies up at the front. Daniel Falkingham will pick up a position here once he reaches pit road. Or he maybe ducks on the pit road. No, he's normally good at saving fuel. He is going to go another lap, so he will move up a couple of positions here temporarily. But Hilgard will pick up the lead as he goes through 3, 4, and 5 right now.
And Falkenham last speed on 25, so he's the one that extended it the most on that first stint. I'm sure that he's going to try and do the same thing here and maybe go all the way to 50.
Oh, Chase Brown again. Oh, Chase Brown having a moment.
Oh, he's a.
I think it might have been. I don't know who that was. I think it was Chase Brown that spun coming off the quarter.
No, it was Thomas Van Kerk.
Okay, yeah, they're in blue cars, very similar. He goes wide, and I think he goes into dirt there, and then he grabs the accelerator. Oh no, he got a little bit.
You were right.
That was a bit of a punt.
Yeah. You were right. That was Chase Brown who punted him. Inadvertently, I'm sure, but he still did.
Hilgard, pit road, trying to do the overcut. Excuse me. Let's see if he's able to accomplish that. Falkenham stays out. So does he make the dive? Yes, he makes the dive, and he will come back in. Berryman will pick up the lead, we think. Christian Hilgard down and away. Berryman by. He's going to pick up the position. Hilgard's off the pit road now. Hilgard's out in front of Rodriguez comfortably, and he's within sight of Berryman. Now, can he reel him in with Berryman with slower traffic in front of him? Might possibly be damaged slower traffic as well.
Oh, this just got very interesting because for the first few laps, Hilbert's going to be an advantage here. Those alternate tires are very quick. As Berryman is able to make his way by Chase Brown, that's huge for him, especially on this back section of the road course, because there are not really any good passing opportunities until 13. I mean, you can force your way, but
pit stops are done for all these drivers now. They should be good to go to the end. Again, if you're just joining us, you are watching P1's coverage of the IndyCar iRacing Series Saturday Top Split presented by 40 Racewear, coming to you from Detroit Belle Isle, where Peter Berryman currently leads with just under 20 to go here. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race. The next race for us here in the IAS next week, June 6, 2026 at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. The teams and drivers will go back oval racing again at Worldwide Technology Raceway, a.k.a. Gateway. Remember, for the correct time in your area, you can find everything right here at YouTube at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. So don't miss it when we do our longest race of the season. Remember, we did 500K at Indianapolis. 500K is about 312 miles. We'll be doing 500K also at the Gateway. But when you do the math, 260 laps times 1.25, I think it's like 325 miles. So Gateway actually turns into our longest race of the season, and that is next week.
Should be a ton of fun. Hey, Hilgard was almost 2 seconds behind Berryman when that pit stop sequence concluded. Right now at the line, 1.3 seconds. Last time by Peter Berryman at 1:14.5, and purple lap for Christian Hilgard 1:13.9.
Convenient timing, boys. So he's on now. Hilgard, we saw Hilgard first two tire stints. He was on the in the wall, maybe just a little bit of a kiss. He hit it square. First two tire stints was on the prime tire, and he has to do a compound change in order to complete the regs for this race. So he is now on the alternate tire in this last stint, and he's got to catch Berryman here. He's got to do it quickly. He's got to pass him, and then he's got to hold him off for the remainder of this race, and that's going to be very tough when we saw how bad these alternate tires degrade later in these stints.
Yeah, and much easier said than done. First he has to catch, although he's quickly getting there. Remember, last time by said it was 1.3 seconds. Right now we're closing the lap here, and at the line the difference is 0.6 of a second. 114.7 for Berryman, 114 flat for Hilgard. He's really using all the track. Goes a little bit wide on Corbett Corner. Berryman starts going defensive.
He
but
just
that's
sends it. Oh my goodness! He's gonna get a car. He's gonna get a half of a car width there. He's still there.
He's still there. Side by side. You don't go side by side there.
Can he do it? Can he do it?
Oh, still side by side. Who would have thought we would have saw side-by-side racing like we saw at Indianapolis on the last lap here at Detroit? But there you go. Great job by both these drivers, and Hilgard's your new leader. But does Berryman just bide his time now, knowing that his tires are going to be better here at the end of this run when closing time is getting here for everyone on this racetrack?
What a move there by Hilgard, by the way.
Yeah, I have to say, you've got to give credit to Berryman as well. He could have ran Christian into the wall or basically tried to squeeze him, but he gave him just enough room for them to go side by side. But holy heck, holy cow, that was awesome.
We do not see very many passes for the lead here at Detroit, and there we go. In fact, I'm looking back at the last time we were here. Round 7 of 2025, Kevin Desnoyers, who was also a former fiercely forward driver, won that race. Logan Edwards finished 3rd. There was only one lead change there. Round 7 of 2024, Rashad Craig won that race. There were 4 lead changes in that one. But not very many lead changes going back in history. 2022, only 3. 2020 in 2020, there were no lead changes. In fact, 2020 and 2019, there were no lead changes at all. And I'm only comparing races around this actual time slot. So it's very tough to pass here. We don't see very many passes for the lead. The most that we've seen in this time slot back in 2021 or closest to this time slot was 6 lead changes when Stefan Petrat from Germany beat out Matthias Kraus, also from Germany, by 26 seconds, but 6 lead changes there. And that must seem like a number of, when you take Detroit into comparison to Indianapolis, that's like, all the lead changes you saw in Indianapolis. That was a lot for Detroit. 6.
Yeah, that almost sounds like a park race. Oh, wow. But this is not done yet here,
no,
guys.
It's not
Although
done.
Hilgard is building a huge gap right now. I don't think we have seen somebody drive away that much. Right now, it's 1.6 seconds between Hilgard and Berryman, but that's kind of what he needs to do right now. Try and put some really, really fast lap times here. Build as big of a gap as he can, because we know that those alternates will degrade at the end of the stint. Although it's going to be a little bit of shorter stint for him. He was able to squeeze that additional lap. Remember, Berryman last beat on 48. Hilgard was able to beat on 49. So that's one more lap to the good for him. I think it's going to be very close.
We're watching Hilgard. So if you look on our time and scoring tree, if you see the red S, that is the soft tire. So Hilgard on the soft tire. You see the red sidewalls right there on his car. And then Berryman with the H. That is the hard tire, and that is the black sidewall tire. That's what the tree stands for there. And then when you see them on the green there, that's on push to pass. They're hitting their button right now. And that is that's only the use of the push to pass. You do not see, unlike in real Fox coverage, they'll actually see the usage of the hybrid. We do not see that yet. I don't think that's data that's shared across the API, I don't think. So we can't, not yet. So we can't quite gather that. And so we have really no way of knowing if they're on the hybrid. We just assume if they have it available to them, they are on it. But the only way we could see if they're on any type of a horsepower boost would be on push to pass, like Jared Curry is on right now. You see Peter Berryman on the black sidewall tires. He does not have the red trim. Those are the harder of the two compounds, typically called the primes. Thomas Wright, Ty Quilla battle for position outside the top 10. This is for 11th. Thomas on, both of them on the alternate tire. Thomas sees an opportunity to get closer to the top 10. Oh, it's going to take a shot to the outside. Oh, on the braking, and he caught it. Great job. And that gives a little
What
bit of
a
a
save,
breather
huh?
to Ty Quilla. Ty, not really he's getting better at road racing. I don't think he's really known for road racing. He's known for road racing. That's his team. But he's an oval meister. But he's done real good today. He's 1 lap down. First car 1 lap down. He's your teammate, Antonio. Up 10 spots. He's not your biggest gainer right now. That goes to Lazar. But Ty just doing what it needs to do, very much like the Netflix show, Drive to Survive. That's exactly what he's doing here.
Yeah, Ty has been improving quite a lot, and in road courses, he has been putting in the time, putting in the reps, doing a lot of practice, doing a lot of races. Somebody goes wide in front of everybody. That was Daniel Falkingham. Daniel Falkingham goes wide. I don't think he's going to lose any positions. Well, Mitch Walker is right there.
Yeah, Mitch Walker right there at Daniel Falkingham. And this is a battle for position. This is to get inside the top 5 now. Welker in 5th, Falkingham in 4th. And this is between 2 drivers with vastly different backgrounds. Remember, Falkingham, that NASCAR eSports driver, Rookie of the Year of the Elite Racing League. And now right behind him, Mitch Welker, 2-time champion in the Formula Indy Series, known for their road racing. That is a road racing heavy series. He's a 2-time champion over there. And when he won those championships, he won them Michael Schumacher style. I mean, he dominated those seasons. I mean, if somebody else got a win, it was a lucky win by somebody else. That's how much he dominated those 2 particular seasons. And to see these 2 drivers battling, this is a real treat right here. A driver still learning these cars, a driver a master of these cars, and champions of leagues around the community right here.
The new blood and, the old guard. It always happens.
Mitch Walker, one of my favorite drivers on the series and the community. Always a threat to win no matter where he is. And right now battling Daniel Falkingham right now for 4th and 5th right here. And if they slow down too much, Adam Williams right behind him and Kevin Burrell will start reeling in this group. But right now,
Hunter
just
Ingrave.
a bit of a, Hunter Ingrave is right there as he passes. That is Alan Berteau.
All right, so last time by Christian Hildgaard, 115.3, Peter Berman, 115.1. We might start to see that changing point.
And Hildgaard has lap traffic in front of him. And it's not just any lap traffic, it's the tail end of the lead lap. So these are guys with pace. And they're also in the top 10. And they're also battling for position inside of the top 10. That's Jared Curry, Logan Edwards. This is for 9th and 10th, right in front of our leader.
Oh, and Hildgaard almost lost it there.
He cooked the corner. Yeah, we just caught the tail end of it.
And, that gap that we were talking about, 2.5 seconds, gone.
Gone, yep. It's right at almost 1.1. And there's still plenty of time to go. A lot of time. We still have more than 10 laps here. Once again, go ahead.
No, that stint's going to be very difficult, the last half of it for Hildgaard.
Once again, today's race coverage brought to you by 4D Racewear. Check out their line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com or click on the link in the stream description. And if you're going to participate in one of the other time splits, I think we only have only one other time slot for the IIS this week, later tonight. And you need a set of gloves. You might want a set of gloves for a track like Detroit here. Check out 4D Racewear for a set of gloves. Your hands will definitely thank you for that. P1 Broadcasting also is excited to announce the second running of the P1 600, a crown jewel level event exclusively for the iRacing IndyCar community. It's a 600-kilometer, 186-lap battle at Michigan International Raceway on June 13th, 2026, just in a couple of weeks. It's an all-star driver roster of the iRacing IndyCar community will take the grid, competing for over $600 in prizes. To learn more or to sign up, go to the P1 Discord or the the iRacing IndyCar Community Discord servers for more details. I believe there's links to both in the description. And you can find the entry application there. June 13th at Michigan will be once again a race to remember. And can Jacob Oster defend his championship that he won a season ago, his one race win there over Hamilton Akabuizi by the slimmest of margins. So if you like close racing at Michigan, and if you like IndyCars, you got to check out the P1600. It will be on the 13th of June, 2 p.m. Eastern, right here on the channel. Christian Hillgaard, it's getting closer, but Christian Hillgaard in the midst of a battle in front of him.
Yeah, and he hasn't been able to close a gap to those guys. Like, I'm sure he's like, oh, get out of the way. But they, nothing they're doing wrong at all.
No. And it's harder to put drivers a lap down the higher you get into the order. And Berryman is there. It's like Berryman very patiently is like, okay, I'll let you go. Your tires are going to wear out. Plus, you're going to experience lap traffic. I'll just pick you off. And there he is all over the attenuator. Now it's just biding his time.
Yeah, and don't look back, but also Esteban Rodriguez, who has clean track, has been the fastest of this group for the last few laps, and he's the one that has the most push pass left, has 129 seconds left, as opposed to 66 for Berryman.
Oh! Jared Curry takes a little bit of a different line through 1 and 2. That opens the door and allows Hillgaard on by, and he allows also Berryman on by as well. So one less driver for Hillgaard and Berryman to attack with lap traffic in front of him, but still a very talented Logan Edwards in front of him as well, who knows these road courses extremely well.
Oh, Berryman is there. Both on the bottom right now.
They go through kind of what I call the carousel here. Every road course needs to have the carousel. It's kind of a carousel, kind of a triple apex corner. And he is right there now. He's just biding his time. You don't see a lot of sense of urgency on Berryman. It's like he can make the move anytime he wants, Tony.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
into the wall off of 14. 13. Here was 14 right here.
Yeah, Hillgaard is driving on the edge and really trying. I'm sure that if he's able to get around Logan Edwards at some point, he's going to be relieved. And, clean air really helps a lot, especially those alternate tires that are degrading quite a lot. As Edwards pulls away.
Nice job.
Gentlemen. Yep. All right, so now let's see if he can hold Berryman for 8 more laps.
I think it's a mighty tall order.
Yeah.
But you've said it before.
Again,
catching Hillgaard's one thing, but it was in the form of Berryman. Catching Berryman and passing him's two things. Yeah, the same thing with Hillgaard. Catching him's one thing, passing him's another.
Yeah, and especially at this track, which is very narrow. Not as narrow as that
the real Detroit.
thing.
The real Detroit. Off the corner, and a much better exit for Hillgaard that time.
Clean air. It's like a medicine, man.
Just what the doctor ordered 7 ago.
Yeah, last time by, already 4/10 quicker for Hillgaard than what he was doing behind Curry and Logan Edwards.
Out the back of our leader. Here's a screenshot for you. And Rodriguez is around that lap traffic, and we're watching out this back out the gearbox of Hillgaard, and you can see that red and black car slowly creeping into the picture on top of the green car that's directly in your face.
Daniel Falkingham had an incident. He is out. He's done.
Oh, Daniel
That's
Falkingham.
Just before the carousel hit the wall, hit the tires, that's they done for him.
The Rookie of the Year in the Elite IndyCar, or the Elite Racing League's IndyCar Championship is retired. But a good race for him. I suspect
That Yeah, that moves Mitch Welker up to P4, Hunter Engrave up to the top 5.
Yeah, it's inside
As
the top 5.
Berryman.
Don't know where to look now. It's the cameras everywhere. As Berryman's got a better line going off a Corvette corner. Bam! Into the wall, Rodriguez. Here's Berryman. Is he going to take a shot? He's going to go around. He has to go around the outside. Oh, and he just goes deep. He goes deep, and he loses the position to Esteban Rodriguez, and that might be what saves the race for Hilgard there in the brake zone for turn 3. But we still have 6 to go, and Rodriguez is in the catbird seat now with the harder tires, and he's been faster over the last couple of laps than both of these drivers racing for the lead.
And also, he has more than 100 seconds of push to pass compared to
let's show that.
Hilgard's 30.
Let's show that number here. There you go, and yes. You see, this is seconds left. Hunter Engrave, either forgot to map the number, or he's just saving it for all the, for like the last, every part of the last 5 laps.
The former seems a little bit more probable.
It wouldn't be the first time that someone's forgot to map it, but I mean, it's not required to do well, and he's up in the top 5.
Man, I don't remember Berryman, making a mistake. A little bit of an unforced error. He went all the way into the marbles, went wide. Uncharacteristic in a way.
Yeah, let's re-watch that pass, and we'll go back to Berryman here. And he got a great run. And we saw it develop through 1 and 2. He just had a much better run. There was a big push for Hilgard off of 2, going through Corvette corner, now down the straight. And I'll try to get a better angle here. Again, not the greatest for angles that we have here. And he just goes on the outside. We said he's going to have to go around on the high side the long way. And by the time he starts braking and turning, he's already into the gray. And he keeps it off the tire barrier. But unfortunately, that little bit of a detour opened the door for Rodriguez, and Rodriguez passes him. Now Rodriguez has now caught Hilgard.
Yeah, Rodriguez is there. But again, passing is one thing. Catching is one thing. Passing is another one entirely.
Well, we saw a couple laps ago right there in turn 2 and turn 3 where that other thing is.
Yeah. Last time by, Rodriguez 1 second faster than pushing Hilgard. 1:15.8 for Hilgard, 1:14.8 for Rodriguez. It is going to be a tall order because of the amount of push to pass left in Rodriguez. He can spam that button as much as he wants.
But there's only so many places you could use it on this racetrack. Here is one of those. This is the back straight. You could use that button here. But that's kind of it. You could use it a little bit on that front straight area through 13, 14, right through there, and then to turn 1, and then the run down to turn 3. You definitely could use it there. But there's not very many places to get on the button for long periods of time because there's not a lot of long straightaways here other than which. Oh, Rodriguez gets squirrely.
And don't count Berryman out. Berryman is also there.
This is 12, 13, and 14 coming through here, these complex. You can use the button here. Rodriguez is not yet. But he will use it once they clear 1 and 2. He's definitely going to use it down the straight in the 3. Both of them on the buttons. Going defensive.
Super defensive. Side by side.
Teammates. And here comes Berryman now to pick up the position. Opportunistic. Oh, and we've lost the front wing. Rodriguez has lost his right front wing plane. 3 to go. This race isn't over yet.
Yeah,
that's...
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's gonna put Rodriguez out of this contention for the win, but Berryman is there. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, I was going to say that's
Berryman just sends it to the inside. A little bit of a high exit there for Hilgard, and Berryman back to the lead. We told you this isn't over yet. Don't go anywhere. But that might have been a pass for the lead as Berryman starting to put a little bit of distance between himself and Hilgard with those older tires.
Oh, man. Remember those soft tires, I'm seeing that same thing on Christian Hildgaard's right front, or left front actually.
Oh, yeah, those are, at this point, they're like, it's one of those type of, it's like,
Yeah, before Christian made that mistake, I was just about to mention as well. This is a good comeback by Peter, considering that he made that mistake a few laps ago. So, yeah, I thought at one point Christian kind of had this race not in the bag, but just basically just need to keep it clean and not make a mistake. But yeah, just unfortunately made that mistake, and Peter saw the opportunity and he pounced, and now he's pulling away. And I think Christian now is just basically struggling for grip.
and it's not all bad.
Yeah.
It's not all bad. Here's the points one more time coming into this round. Burrell with the lead. Hildgaard is going to get a good finish out of this, and he's going to finish ahead of Burrell. And this is the highest strength of field race thus far of the weekend, so he will make up a little ground on Christian Hildgaard out of this race. So it's not all bad. I know he wants more, but it could be a whole lot worse.
Yeah, and also it was a valiant effort. Like we saw, and we were talking about it at the beginning of the race, right? We thought that Berryman and Rodriguez had everybody covered as the white flag flies here last lap for Peter Berryman. But then Hildgaard played a major role in this one and almost ran away with it. That was a huge call and a very interesting gamble that he did. And, you know, if he could held on for another 2 laps, and maybe if he didn't have traffic in front of him for quite a while, maybe he doesn't damage his left front that much. But still, he's going to get a good result out of this.
Berryman just has a few more corners to navigate. He does have Thomas right in front of him. But I don't know if he'll catch him before the end of this race. But Berryman looking at a second win this season in the IIS Top Split broadcast. He won at St. Petersburg. So he likes these combination street courses. Peter Berryman won the Friday race. So there, Thomas Wright just gets out of the way. Berryman shows up for the top split and does what he normally does, and that is win. But he does it with a lot of patience today. Winner at Belle Isle. Christian Hildgaard comes home in second to gain on his teammate for the points lead in the championship. And Esteban Rodriguez it's maybe a story of what could have been for Esteban, finishing the race with a damaged nose, but still comes home on the bottom step here at Belle Isle. Still have cars finishing. Mitch Welker. That was a great race. A definite, once again, cars putting on a good show in a virtual sense, but it was a great show as Welker comes home at fourth. Hunter Ingrave, another top 5 for your teammate. Good race for Hunter.
Yep. There was a photo finish between Logan Edwards and Jared Curry there for P8.
And here is Kevin Burrell, your points leader. Will be the points leader going to Gateway for another week. Just not the margin as he came into this one.
Hey, but comes home 7th. I mean, especially after, that incident that he had, that's a good recovery race. Also for Breton, who had, that lap 1 incident, comes home 11th.
Here are the results. Berryman with the win, 3 seconds, but it was a lot closer than that, folks, for the entire race, really. That was kind of going away. Christian Hildgaard second, Esteban Rodriguez third, Mitch Welker fourth, Hunter Ingrave fifth, Adam Williams at sixth, Kevin Burrell seventh, Logan Edwards, Curry, and Ty Quill, your teammates. So 2 road racing cars made the top 10 here. Not a bad day for them. And 3, actually, Jared Curry, yeah. So 5th, 9th, and 10th. So a good day for road racing. Good day for Nexus. They're on the 2nd and 3rd steps. And also P7, I5G, and P8. Let's move on to the next page here. Alan Berteau, Thomas Wright, Lazar Shinov, Daniel Falkenham with a disappointing finish. He retires 15th, Brown 16th, Thomas Van Kirk in 17th, Ricky Paz 18th, Benjamin Ike in 19th, Pavel Beer in 20th, and Craig Russell Hand, Indy Kirkenbauer, Honecker, Charisma, and Bot. That rounds out the remainder of your top 27 or your 27 car field. Gentlemen, real quick, your drivers of the race. You first, Antonio, and you next, Ryan.
I mean, the top three, of course. But if we cannot choose from anybody from the podium, I would say Ty Keela up 11 positions. Silvio Lazar also very nice drive up 12 positions. But I'll probably give it to Ty just because he ended up in the top 10.
Yeah, I think for me, I think I'm going to go completely different, and I'm going to say Mitchell Velker, who finished in fourth. He had a quiet race from what I saw, but he kept it clean and managed to finish on a well-deserved P4.
All right. Trying to work on the replays. ATVO is broken again. It doesn't show you the logs of events on the racetrack. All right, there we go. And normally I would go back and pick a random event for third place and then play it, and then that will be the slow replay. There are no session events populating, so that's wonder why. Anyways, ATVO on the fly production.
That's live TV, man.
Yeah, that's live TV for you. Let's slow it down a little bit more, and that's fine. We'll get Esteban Rodriguez in here if he's available.
Yep, they're all here.
All right, and we'll get into the interview room here and bring in Esteban, and here is Esteban Rodriguez joining us. Wow, interesting finish there. Really, it might have been a win for you instead of a third place, but unfortunately, a little bit of contact cost you that right front wing plane, and you had to nurse home an injured car, but you were up in the top three all day. A track you obviously like. You dominated here on Wednesday, but talk about the race and the choice to go with the red tires on the last stint.
Well, it was amazing to see all three of us run totally different strats and
Yes,
like have it all come down to the end, like all of us covered under a blanket. That was honestly one of the best races I've ever been a part of. I think the second stint might have been a mistake, but I just wanted to like keep the pressure on. But I felt like the DEG was good enough and that I could hang on, but eventually the primaries just, they get you those last like 7-8 laps. I want to say the alts just kind of, they fall off the cliff and you got to nurse them home. So then coming into the last stint, I underfueled the car just a hair. Then I had to limp home to like map 3, but I was still pushing as hard as possible. And I saw Christian get by him. And then I really started to believe that I could catch them again because I saw lap cars and I knew in my head, well, Christian, he's on the alts. The track is as hot as it's been. I'm sure he's going to just slowly come back to us. And lo and behold, he did. And that was an amazing race. Like, I'm really happy that we all had a chance to duke it out at the end there.
We'll give Tony and Ryan a chance to ask you a question. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, no, I just want to say, first of all, that was amazing. All the driving and how you ended up in different strategies and all converging at the end. That was awesome. And yeah, like you said, the tire the track temperature started going higher and higher and higher. And we saw that Hildgaard was actually behind some lap cars at some point, and he wasn't able to pass them on that last stand. Do you think that also affected and added, to the wear that he added to those alternate tires?
100%. I mean, the moment you're behind somebody, you have maybe, even if there is a tire difference, I mean, whatever you gain in the traction zones, in the high speed sections, like those, like the last two turns, for instance, and the first two, you're hanging on. You feel the dirty air affecting you. You're fighting the understeer. And if those lap cars weren't there, I'm pretty sure it would have been way harder to like close up the gap to Christian. So that certainly affected him. And it also just throws you off your rhythm having lap cars that close to your vicinity. I mean, 100%, I'm sure he was wishing they got out the way, but they're in their own race.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, as well with it being a street track, was there anything that you adjusted with the mindset or strategy? But was it basically kind of still push, but also on the other hand, did you have that thought in the back of your mind about just trying to keep out the wall?
No, I was just full push, like grazing the wall, every entry, every exit. I was 100% full push. Obviously, yeah, like you in a street course, I don't want to say you're driving 110%, but I was driving maybe 99%. You got to leave the margin because it's a lot of these walls jut out. You can knock your toe out, break the suspension, or I mean, it could be a disaster. But if you're gonna race against Peter and Christian, I mean, they're two of the best. Like honestly, you gotta drive with the mindset of like either you put it in the wall or you keep up with them, like, or else don't even show up.
Well put. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone who want to say hi to before we let you go. Finishing third today. We know you wanted more, but you nursed it home and brought it home on that bottom step of the podium.
Yeah, well, big shout out to my wife. She gave me the green light to run this race. So
Very
of course,
smart
always,
man.
I mean,
You are a very smart man.
we've got two kids, so I mean, she's up there taking care of them while I'm down here racing. So honestly, thank goodness for her for letting me do what I love and race every weekend. I love racing. And big shout out to Nexus and Jason Middleton, my teammates, Christian, Kevin Burrell, Alan Berteau. We recruited them just recently. They've been fantastic. They're super quick. I'm grateful to have them over here. And yeah, shout out to you guys for the great broadcast as always.
Well, good to have you here. And a very smart man by giving the shout out to the wife. That means that we will at least see you at least in another Saturday race later this season for sure. So congratulations, and we will see you maybe in a week at Gateway. But Esteban Rodriguez coming home in third today here at Belle Isle.
Thank you guys. Have a good rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.
That is Esteban, and again, the smartest man alive so far, right, today. The bringing home a damaged car and thanking the wife. That is how you survive the weekend. Let's bring in Christian Hilgard joining us. Christian Hilgard, not quite the debut with the new team, but with the new team and a good finish today. But a different strategy at the end, choosing to go with the red tires there at the end. And for a while, it was looking plausible that you might have been able to hold everything off, but it just wasn't in the cards today. Talk about the choice of going with the red tires last on a strategy in that last stint, trying to hold off two incredible giants behind you of your teammate Esteban, and we already know about the legend of Peter Berryman.
Yeah, that was probably the best race of the IIS season so far. I feel like, with three different strategies at the front, all fighting for the win. That was insanely fun. I knew I botched my qualifying a little bit, so I needed to do something slightly different. Tried to go long, get a tire advantage, and then have the alternates at the end to try and push and overtake, because it is really difficult to overtake here unless you have like a lot of pace on the car in front. So tried to get as little fuel in the car on the alternates and be able to pass, and it worked. But unfortunately, yeah, I just couldn't hang on to the tires like the other two could.
Hey, Christian, but first of all, you put on a show, and when you first passed Berryman there at the beginning of the last stint, you went side by side in many places where you probably shouldn't be going side by side, and you made it work, and it looked awesome. So congrats on that. And then, like Gary said, it looked plausible at some point, but I imagine that also catching at the back end of the field didn't really help at all. Like, you needed clean air, right, in order to make that work.
Yeah, I'm not sure it made the difference, but obviously catching Jared and Logan at the end there made things more difficult. Dirty air is really, really brutal here. So when you're already on, tires that are past their prime, it makes things more complicated. That's for sure. But I knew from the split second I passed him that it was still going to be difficult to hang on. I was running something different than Esteban today set wise, and I saw yesterday in the top split there that the deck on the alternates here was a bit much on this set. The upside to it then was that it was faster on the primes, which I made work, starting in P4 and actually ended up quite far behind. I still managed to catch up on the second stint, but then the alternate attacks then came back to bite me at the end. But it's fine. Like, it was such a fun race. I was just telling the guys, both Pete and the Nexus guys, that has to be the most difficult race I've ever done. But it was like super fun because it was so intense. It was just 70 laps of nonstop pushing, and summer's hit here in Denmark, which means 25, 30 degrees in my apartment that doesn't have AC. This it's just brutal.
I can imagine. And we were talking about it during during that stint, that it was a valiant effort and trying to make something different for it to actually work. So that was cool. Hey, one last quick question. What were the remaining thread of your left front tire?
Actually, I didn't get to check it. I don't think my left front was really the issue. It's the rears here. But my PC crashed before I was able to check it. Maybe I can go back and look in VRS. But like, I can tell you as much as I got a tire warning, so it was probably about like 40% tread on the on the rears at the end.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Ryan, do you have something?
Yeah, looking ahead to the next track as well. What's his a gateway, I believe. What's your expectations heading into that? Is it just the same as usual, or is it just basically just try and get a good result again?
I think for me, Gateway is going to be all about just getting a solid result. I think we're going to have a really fast car with the Nexus guys. They're really fast on short ovals. They've got that figured out, so it's very exciting to join them for that. I also, for the first time, have the iRating to be in a top split on an oval, so that'll be fun. And I need to get a good result. Unlike Kevin, I've used 2 drop rounds already, so I really cannot afford to have an off week at this point. So it's going to be high pressure, but I'm going to try to just keep it simple and get a solid result in the book.
I had to because I think everyone else on this call is on the metric system. We are not here, and where I'm at, so I had to put the conversion of your how hot it is in your room on screen to everybody. So it was 77 to 86 degrees, somewhere in there. 25, you said 25 to 30 C, 77 to 86 Fahrenheit. Yeah.
I would lean 30, but obviously when you're sitting in the rig, it feels maybe a bit hotter than it is.
And of course you got force feedback and everything.
Yeah. I can tell you as much as, like, I've never sweated that much. Like, I've never struggled so much to grip the wheel as I did in that race.
Wow.
Just from pure sweat. I need to get a set of gloves.
4D Racewear,
4D Racewear,
sponsor of our broadcast. They make some great ones. You should check them out. Well, I put your conversion on the screen because I still deal in freedom units. Everyone else is metric. But Christian, shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. Anyone want to say hi to before we let you go? I mean, all in all, it could have been a win, and you almost got that win. But I guess the best thing out of all this thing is it was a very entertaining race. I think you feel pretty good about everything that went on, and you made a little ground on your teammate in the championship race going into Gateway. So all in all, not too bad, I don't think.
Yeah, good race, super fun race. And I think, as far as the championship, Kevin got 242 yesterday in for getting second place and an almost identical solve. So I don't think I actually made any ground on him this week. But I'll take it. It's a decent result. Maybe the kind of result that can get you a championship at the end. And as far as racing Pete, we'll get him next time. Hopefully, we're getting closer and closer and closer. So it's really fun to be battling someone of his caliber. But yeah, big shout out to all the Nexus guys. Very exciting to be joining up with them, and looking forward to seeing what we can do for the rest of the season.
All right, congratulations, Christian, on the P2. We'll catch you in a week when we get back to the oval.
Sounds good.
I swear, unless one of you guys has an open window. I think he had an open window because I heard the birds chirping in the background.
That's probably me. Yeah.
Oh, was that you? Okay.
Not me. The birds outside.
Yeah, he had the open window or something. Yeah, he's not lying. If it's hot and he's got the open window, you can hear the birds chirping in the background there. Let's bring in Peter Berriman, and here he is. And just about anytime he's in the lineup, he's a threat to win. And today he was that way. But I'm going to say that your last stint might have been a stint of just being a patient driver, knowing that maybe you had the winning hand in your hand, but you can't show that winning hand right away. Christian got around you with the red tires, and you had to think, man, there's still 12 to go. There's still plenty of time. I don't really need to drive myself in the wall to run this guy down. He's just going to come back to me, and that's kind of what happened. Although losing the position the way you did probably wasn't part of the plan.
Yeah, first off, that was such an awesome race. Really, really enjoyable from start to finish. The first stint was kind of me surviving. I was trying to just not make any mistakes. I was under so much pressure from Esteban behind. The second stint then, obviously, I went slightly different on the strategy. I used a bit of hindsight from the previous time slot yesterday to go for the primaries in stint 2, but that ended up putting me under a lot of pressure. I knew if I could hold off Esteban for the first sort of 10 laps or so of that stint, that's typically when the crossover point roughly comes in. So whilst I did hold him off, we obviously lost quite a few seconds fighting each other, which brought Christian right into the argument. Considering how close he was, I figured it was almost a certainty that he would pass me. I didn't quite expect him to be as sort of aggressive and kind of risky with his overtake. I think I was quite kind to let that sort of work out without us both ending up in a wall. And to be honest, I thought the race was probably gone from there. I figured Esteban's degradation on the reds in the first stint was pretty good, so I didn't really think that I would have enough in the tank to catch up Christian in the end. But luckily for me, he started to cliff off pretty heavily. And at that point, I was sort of I went from thinking that the race was gone to all of a sudden I've got a really good opportunity. And then, yeah, I tried to set up the move in turn 3. The hard thing with these races going so long is the marble build-up is really heavy around the circuit. So I was on the outside trying to turn in slightly later than normal to get a cutback. My front left tire hits those marbles and I get an instant lock up and there's not much I can do. I got pretty lucky, in all honesty, that I wasn't sort of stuck in the runoff completely because I would have lost so much lap time having to, flick spin the car or bang the car into reverse. So quite fortunate in that sense. And I figured that was probably the race gone and P3 was as good as it was going to get. Luckily for me then, the two guys ahead obviously started to fight, and it was such a yo-yo inside my head, thinking that the race win was there, then it was gone, and then all of a sudden the race win's back again. So in the end, I got quite lucky. I didn't actually have to make an overtake, and both the cars sort of fell away for me, and I kind of got waved through. Obviously, the guys making mistakes, but yeah, super happy to win, and easily probably one of the most enjoyable races I think I've done in sim racing in quite a long time.
Yeah, for sure. And Peter, we really enjoyed it up here at the booth. Colin, it was spectacular. We were talking with Christian, and when he passed you at the beginning of that last day, and you guys started going, side by side through many places where you typically wouldn't go in Detroit, and you made it work. And then like you were talking about on that marble build-up when you went all the way to the outside in turn 3, that was a massive save from you. I wanted to. I was wondering, how was your tire degradation on the alternate tires? Because it seemed to be much better than what Christian ended up having. I think, at the end of the day, he also had a little bit more track temperature. He had a little bit more traffic in front of him. But how are you on your tire usage, especially on the alternate tire?
So I knew that I was quite strong. I think I was a little bit surprised by Esteban, how strong he was with his degradation based off of what I knew from, I think I raced Christian in the previous time slot on the Friday night, and I knew that his degradation on the reds was quite a bit worse. So once I saw that Esteban had good degradation on the red tire, I thought that obviously these guys have figured it out and it's going to be quite a different story. So my degradation was good, but with chatting away with Christian and Esteban, I believe they were both running 2 slightly different setups from each other. So potentially that's where the big difference was with the degradation for those guys. But as you said, obviously the benefit to running the red tire in stint 1 is we could have quite a bit less track temperature, 3 or 4 degrees, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but in Celsius, that's quite a difference for the car, the tires and the car balance and things like that. So yeah, I think he probably knew that the last stint on Reds was going to be quite a struggle, which is probably explains why he was quite aggressive, trying to get past me at the beginning of the stint, because he needed to build that gap as far as he could, knowing that I would probably start to reel him in towards the end.
I don't know if we got Ryan's there. Ryan, you back?
He's seventh.
Okay, so he's on hold. I'll give you a chance to get some shout-outs in there, Peter. Again, second win this season. You really like these street courses. So second win this season to back up your win at St. Pete. Shout-outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone I want to say hi to before we let you go?
I'll just say thanks very much to you guys for the broadcast. Obviously, having the broadcast brings a lot of people together, and we get these high SOFs. I wish the IndyCar raced a lot more regular, especially for people like myself who can't really do the American time slots. Obviously, 2 a.m. isn't the most easy time slot for the likes of myself to do. So, yeah, I just want to say major thanks to you guys for doing the broadcasts, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Do we have Ryan back yet?
Nope.
Ryan, you there? No? Okay. Ryan, I think Ryan had to take to walk away real quick. Unfortunately, not around to ask you questions. I'm sure he would. Congratulations, Peter. Second win this season here on the Top Split broadcast. We'll probably see you back later this season, maybe next week at Gateway on the Oval. But good to always have you in the lineup, and always a threat to win anytime you show up.
Yes, thanks very much, guys. You'll definitely see me next week. Maybe not fighting at the front, but I'll definitely give it a good shot at Gateway. So, yeah, thanks very much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday, guys.
I like how Peter automatically downplays that he's not going to be a contending for the win when we all know he will be. All right, Peter. See you in a week.
Have a good one, guys.
Congrats.
Joining us in the booth before we wrap up with final thoughts here is our IIS ambassador, Justin Petschauer. You were in second split. How was your race?
Let me just say this. By lap 7 of 70, half the field was gone.
Wow.
Somehow I started 25th, and the Barber strategy worked again. Finished 4th in second split. This race was nothing short of a survival of the fittest. Let's just put it like that. This is probably going to be my prep for when we go back to Chicago for the first time since 2022, where that's an even bigger, and I mean bigger with a capital B, survival of the fittest race, because it's a bullring street circuit. We'll call it that.
It's a meme race. Yep. Yeah, that is for sure.
Other than that, strategies were all over the place. Track was greasy, but not as greasy as Long Beach and the Indy road course a couple of weeks back. Other than that, I will definitely take this second top 5 of the year, and I'm just going to enjoy the rest of the weekend off. I am looking forward to Gateway, and I didn't even think I was going to be able to make this race. I thought I was going to be arriving back home later today from the Indy 500. Unfortunately, when life reminds you that you have to pay bills as soon as you can, you basically expedite it by at least a couple of days to get back home.
Well, we'll get your thoughts on attending the Indy 500 on Tuesday night when we wrap up the Indy Oval season at Auto Club, when we got the shot for the Indy Oval Championship between Adam Blocker and Robert Molechka, and also Robert's going to be going for the Triple Crown also in that race. So we'll get your Indy thoughts there. But hey, top 5 today at a very high attrition race, and like we said during this race, we were talking about Ty, the drive to survive. It is a legit strategy, and it does work. Ryan, I don't know if Ryan's back, but we'll go for final thoughts here from Tony and Ryan. Tony, it sounds like these drivers, once again, we talked about how this track, no one really liked this track until it went away. And then when it went away, everyone's like, man, I really missed the Belle Isle. And it sounds like the drivers are all saying today the same thing. They had a lot of fun today. They felt really engaged. There were multiple strategies. And the great thing is that all those strategies, it was the right call because they all converged right at the top, right at the end of the race, right when they should. An excellent show. We don't get very many good shows on street courses. And I would say today goes down as one of those races that if you ever want to watch a good example of a street race, an exciting street race in IndyCar, come back to this one.
Oh yeah, 100%. This is going to turn into a classic, from P1 Broadcasting. What a race. And yeah, now we all love Belle Isle. We probably didn't love it that much when, it was officially in the schedule, but it just gives itself and provides a lot of better racing that what the current alternative does. But anyway, this race had it all, man. They were all working together, and we typically see a lot of separation between the leaders and many of the groups, and we had battles constantly, and then we had that huge battle for the end, that entire last end. We didn't really know who was going to come out in front. We thought that Berryman had an advantage just because of the tire difference, but we really didn't know. Maybe Hilder was going to be able to hold him off. And, at the end, yes, the difference shows us 3.7 seconds and 8.7 seconds to Esteban. But realistically, we saw it, and that only happened on the last 2 laps. So, an amazing race. We had all sorts of different things happening and a lot of excitement, and, looking and getting ready to go to Gateway next week and do it all again.
We got Ryan back yet?
Yep, I'm back.
Ryan, good to have you back, buddy. Man, you missed Indy, and that was a great finish, the real race and the race we had here in the IS. But you got a real treat today on your return race back with us. Wow, what a finish here at Detroit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, that was probably my favorite race of the season so far. And the closing stages of today was just absolutely awesome. I mean, at one point, it looked like Christian had that race kind of won at one point, but Peter Berryman, they managed to make a comeback as well. And just, I think in general, if I had to vote for race of the season so far, just for the closing stages, I think today would be right up there.
No, I'd be hard pressed to really disagree. It's definitely open for debate, that is for sure. Let's get on out of here. I need to go watch IndyCar qualifications. I don't know who is on the pole there, but it looked pretty exciting when I broke away. So still more IndyCar action for me today, but that's it for us for today here on iRacing. Once again, your podium here from Detroit, Peter Berryman with this second win of the season here on the top split. Christian Hilgard comes home in second, maybe makes up a little ground on his teammate who's leading the points. And Esteban Rodriguez finishes third, nursing home a damaged car for the bottom step of the podium. Join us again next week, Saturday, June 6th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time for round 9 of the 2026 campaigns. The teams and drivers will tackle believe it or not, our longest race of the season. 325 miles at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Coverage starts around 2 p.m. Eastern. Again, that's 2:00 p.m. Eastern Time. As always, for the correct time in your area, you can find everything right here at YouTube at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, but they're not easy and require time and money to produce. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar and enjoyed our coverage of the IndyCar iRacing Series Top Split broadcast, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description. It's also pinned in chat. We also do accept super chats as well, and donate to our 2026 broadcast fund. We do realize times are tough, so any contribution would be greatly appreciated. We thank you for watching. Make us a part of your YouTube viewing during NTT IndyCar race weeks. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy one, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of today's race. And if you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of P1's other iRacing programming, including Tuesday night. It's Championship Tuesday, but it's our open wheel oval racing doubleheader Championship Tuesday. Race 1 kicks off 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time with the iRacing IndyCar Oval Series Top Split at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana for a Triple Crown attempt by Robert Molechka. A Triple Crown attempt, and he could possibly win the IndyCar Championship for the Oval Series as on top of everything else. So don't want to miss that. And also, you don't want to miss the Indy Next Oval Series. They will be at Gateway immediately following the top split Oval Series race at 8:15. So if you like open wheel oval racing, then tune in to P1. Race 1 starts at 8:15. Race 2 at 9:30. As this is a critical week 12 of season 2 of 2026, and it winds down. Not going to get any tighter than the way it is right now with this race here coming up at Auto Club. P1's IndyCar iRacing Series Saturday top split coverage is presented to you by 4D Racewear. Check out their line of made for sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Peter Berryman might want to check out a pair of gloves from them. And if you want to, just visit them today at 4D Racewear, and their link is in the description. Track cams of this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook. You can follow on X and Instagram. All the links you need are in the description. For business inquiries, to learn more about P1 and what we do, like us on Facebook. You can follow us on X and Instagram. You can follow all of our social links on Linktree, and you can check those out in the description as well. So for El Patron, Antonio Estrada, Ryan Skywalker, Justin Petschauer, everyone at 4D Racewear, and here at P1, I'm Gary Gotso saying to all, thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Make sure to catch the real stars of cars of the NTT IndyCar Series tomorrow, May 31st at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix. You can follow all the action on your local Fox affiliate, on the Fox app, and if you're outside the United States, you can watch on the IndyCar Live app, or just join us old school with Mark Janes and the gang on IndyCar Radio, and you can find them on Sirius XM Channel 218. Be sure to check your local listings for the correct broadcast times and station in your area. You can catch us again next week, 2 p.m. Eastern Time at Gateway for the next race of the IndyCar iRacing Series Saturday top split right here on P1. See you, everybody, and enjoy the race tomorrow. Have a good one.